I'm Jack. I'm the manager of Rehab and Therapy here at the Granada Centre, which is part of St John of God Hallswell. My job is to manage the rehab team, primarily helping the residents who are here on transitional rehab contracts. Initially, somebody might have a stroke and then go to Christchurch Public for a few days, and probably the majority would be discharged home from there. The ones that are a little bit more complex would go on to Burwood for a period of a few weeks to maybe even a few months. And again, the vast majority of those would go home from there. And then there's a few at the end who are probably the most complex end of the spectrum who still have potential, and they would be considered for a spell of transitional rehab here, which would be residential rehab for anywhere from a few months to up to a couple of years tops. Yeah. So for our model of rehab here, we use the ICF model, which is the International Classification of Functioning and Ability, and that describes people in terms of ability rather than diagnostic label. Mainly, it takes into account on 3 levels. It talks about body structure and function, and it might be that somebody's left hand is weak. It talks about functioning, which would be the left hand is weak, so they find it very hard to make a cup of tea. And then they talk about it in terms of participation, which would mean that they find it hard to make a cup of tea, which means they can't hang out at their friend's house in the same way as they used to be, or they can't go to a cafe with the friends that they used to. We really focus on that participation side of it. People will hopefully get to walk better with us, but what we really want them to do is get some of their life back, to regain some of that life. It's about getting over the stigma of being out in public with a disability. It's about going dancing for the first time, and even if dancing isn't quite what it used to be, that kind of thing. It's much more holistic than they're able to be in a hospital, and we really see some results with people. Even people might leave here in a wheelchair, but mostly they've got a lot of their life back. Grant was very interesting. He was a policeman and an Ironman triathlete. When he came to us, it was very profound. He was very weak on his left side, and speech was massively impaired. And I think it took Grant a long time to just come to terms with that enough to be able to start working on his rehab. And from there, he's regained his driving license. He's bought himself a house that he's now going to move into, and I think he wants to use it as an Airbnb as well, so become a landlord. So he's definitely a success story, yeah. And it's great to see that. It really is the ones that go out there and they really make a success of life. It might not be their old life, but it's on their terms. And I think Grant's speech is still improving, actually. After maybe three plus years, we still see improvements, which is really surprising me. It's great to see. He's got the idea to run an Airbnb from it, and I think if that works out, that will give him a real sense of business and a bit of finances that he can feel he's earning himself. And I think he'll only move forward from there. He's got that determination from the police and from his Ironman background that who knows what projects can come up with.